Hey guys, do you like video games? 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 Do you like video? I like video games. My name is Julia and welcome to this week's Tech Recap. So a few weeks ago, we found out that Intel's 10nm Kaby Lake processors would be delayed once again until 2019. Well, surprise! This past week, one of the processors was spotted on a few Chinese retail sites, appearing in the Lenovo IdeaPad 330, and sure enough, I guess after it was spotted, Intel decided to fill in the spec sheet for the CPU on its website. This one is the Core i3-8121U, and it's similar to the 14nm i3-8130U, but it doesn't have an integrated GPU, according to the spec sheet. I guess Intel hasn't figured out how to shrink their GPU tech down to 10 nanometers. Maybe they'll figure that one out for 2019. But this CPU does have two new low-power variants of DDR4, LPDDR4 and LPDDR4X. This should help reduce power consumption. Other than that, it's a dual-core 4-thread CPU with a base clock of 2.2 GHz, boost clock of 3.2 GHz, and a 15-watt for TDP. The CPU itself isn't the most exciting thing that we've ever reported on, but Intel's been such a tease with these Kaby Lake CPUs. I just can't help it. I have to talk about it. I have to! And a few things from NVIDIA. First up, the company has launched a 3 GB version of the GeForce GTX 1050 for all you gamers on a budget. As the name suggests, it has 3 GB of GDDR5. Like the 1050 Ti, this new card actually has 768 CUDA cores, while the original 1050 only has 640. The clock speed is also higher than both the 1050 and the Ti, with the ability to boost up to 1,518 MHz compared to 1,392 in the other two. But with those faster clock speeds, this card has a lower memory bandwidth of 84 GB per second. There isn't any price listed yet, but you can expect it to be priced similar to the Ti and the original 1050, so around $200. Not bad at all. Also, in other news for NVIDIA, apparently the GTX 1180 Founders Edition will be releasing in July. The card packs 3,584 CUDA cores with 16 gigs of GDDR6 memory and is built on a 12nm process, which are all better specs than the 1080, as one would expect. So prepare yourselves. And the Razer Blade laptop has finally been updated for the first time in 5 years. It's got a completely new look with a 15.6-inch display with super thin bezels compared to the original 14-inch display that had super bulky bezels. There are 3 display options. The cheapest is 60Hz 1080p and then 144Hz 1080p, which would be the best option for gaming. And then there's the 4K touchscreen option. The Blade packs up to a 6-core 8th gen Core i7-8750H CPU and an NVIDIA GTX 1070 Max-Q GPU. Razer also developed a new vapor chamber cooler to cool said CPU and GPU when gaming gets intense. The Blade has user-replaceable parts, but it comes with 16 gigs of RAM and between 256 gigs and 512 gigs of M.2 SSD storage. For ports, it has Thunderbolt 3 mini DisplayPort and HDMI, as well as 3 USB 3.1 Type-A ports and a new proprietary charging port. The Blade is now available starting at $1,899.99. Nice job, Razer. You're growing up so fast. So proud. It's time for lots of news spoken rather rapidly. And this particular lots of news spoken rather rapidly features all video games news. So prepare yourself. Thanks for the suggestion, Asdruvial Ramirez. Leave a comment down below to name next week's segment. Epic Games has already had the mobile version of their game Fortnite playable on iPhone since April, but now, far more importantly, the game will be available on Android starting in July. And in other news, Epic Games will provide $100 million for Fortnite esports tournament prize pools as competitive play will begin later this year. Ubisoft announced the sequel to The Division back in March, but without a release date. Now, through a financial report, we can see that the game will launch in the 2018-2019 fiscal year. So that would be sometime before April next year. Really narrows it down. A new Halo game has been announced, except it's only for arcades. It's called Halo Fireteam Raven, and it's a 4-person co-op arcade game. Despite the fact that you have to leave the comfort of your home to play it, it looks like a lot of fun. No Man's Sky will introduce a full multiplayer mode launching on July 24th. The mode will feature more co-op gameplay, encouraging people to team up with other players to survive. There will also be some sort of PvP just in case you can't play nice with others. Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, Harry. And Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will be releasing on October 12th. The game is ditching single player for this one, focusing more on multiplayer this time, including a last man standing battle royale mode. The zombie mode has 3 different storylines. A trailer shows one of these stories in ancient Rome or something. What happened to zombies just chasing you around the town? And that wraps up this week's Tech Recap. As always, you can click here to subscribe, click here for more videos, and follow us on social media right over here. And click down below to shop Mike's Computer Shop. So have yourselves a great day, take care of yourselves out there, put on SPF. See you guys next week.